YouTube? Welcome to another episode of Raise Hell, Praise Dale. Guess what? We had racing this past weekend, so we don't have to count down to racing no more.
Yes,
we still got to count down to the Daytona 500 though. 13 days.
That's right. 13. Unlucky 13.
One weird little football game on a Sunday, and then the following Sunday is Daytona.
One minor insignificant football game.
Yeah. Hopefully both teams lose. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. We got to talk about the Clash and a whole bunch of new sponsors and
Go Chiefs, I hope you win.
You're not even from Missouri.
And?
Freaking bandwagon.
To be fair, I was somewhat of a Chiefs fan before they started winning Super Bowl.
Somewhat.
I mean, I really don't follow football that much, but like when I do watch football, I root for the Chiefs.
Well, go Saints. That's all I'm going to say.
When's the last time they went to the Super Bowl?
Hey, we're undefeated when we show up at Super Bowl. I'm just saying.
Well, when you go once, win once. Kind of hard to dispute.
Yeah, well. Anywho, not all of us can have Taylor Swift back in our team.
Oh, well, that's the part that I don't like about the Chiefs.
Anywho, we're not a football podcast. We are a NASCAR podcast. And with that being said, we're going to introduce ourselves. I'm Voodoo.
I'm JT Dallas.
I was just going to hit the intro and introducing ourselves, but whatever.
Wow.
Now I'll hit the intro.
How rude.
All right. We is here. NASCAR racing is back.
Yes, sir. And if you missed this race, you missed a dang good one. But before we jump into that, let's go ahead and roll that beautiful intro to the post-race breakdown. Maybe. And not bad.
Little newness going on.
Yes, sir.
Just proof to you guys that we do keep trying to improve what we got going on here for y'all.
Yes, and before we get to the race, I do want to make an announcement.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. We actually have a couple things to announce.
I'm scared.
So we do have some bonus episodes coming out here pretty soon.
Indeed.
One should be up. When did we say? Tomorrow, if you're watching this live? Is it tomorrow or is it?
Do we want to do it tomorrow or do we want to throw it out Wednesday? I don't know. I know we're recording another episode on Wednesday. But that episode may be super special.
Oh, did you ask him? Okay.
The episode that we're recording Wednesday may be a super special first episode going on Patreon special.
Yep. What?
So maybe Wednesday we'll release the video we recorded just about an hour ago.
Yep. Give me just a
second. While he's doing that, got a lot of NASCAR news to go over, but first things first, we got some results to go over. So I'm going to switch over to our side view and get the first of two races that we're going to cover tonight showing up for you. And that first race will be the Madhouse Classic, Bowman Gray Stadium for the Modifieds.
Sorry, I'm back.
Unacceptable.
I know, right? But so yeah, as Voodoo said, we've got a couple extra videos. I know he's kind of passed on. I'm just kind of retouching for my own sanity. One possibly coming out Wednesday, and the other one just sprinkle in a little something new we might be posting to our Patreon. So if you guys want to see that before anybody else does, join our Patreon.
Yeah.
So
Pretty sure it is pretty affordable at the moment.
pretty sure what?
The Patreon is pretty affordable at the moment.
Yeah. Right now it's free.
Anybody could afford that.
Right. Your mic's cutting out pretty bad for mine.
Hopefully it's just you.
I was about to say I think it is just me. Like that's actually what I was about to go check. But like I only get like partial what you're saying, so I'm having to piece it together.
I do got the stream pulled up on my phone just to listen to it, and I don't sound like I'm cutting out to me, but I am getting slightly older, so possibility.
Your mic's cutting out pretty bad.
Anywho's jumping to the results from the Madhouse Classic modified race at Bowman Gray Stadium. Got your top 10 on the screen.
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Chris Fleming took the victory after starting last as part of a fan challenge, so he secured him an extra $5,000 ruse for that. And then almost had another victory, Mr. Burt Myers coming in second. Dan Speeney coming in third. John Holman the fourth.
That's weird.
Kind of crazy. And in fifth, going Mr. Brandon Ward.
Yes. Yeah, so in sixth we've got Riley Neal. Seventh is Danny Bond. Sorry, giving night 11s. And then we got Randy Butner in eighth. Ninth is Slate Myers and Danny Probst in 10th.
Yeah. We got a couple of other notable entries that are not part of the top 10. So first things first, Mr. Bobby Labonte was racing in that modified race. Secured him a 13th place finish. Ryan Priest was another one pulling double duty in addition to Burt Myers up there. Ryan Priest secured himself a 17th place finish. And then our last double duty guy, Mr. Tim Brown, finishing way back in 20th.
So weird. Like you're cutting out really bad now. I don't understand.
Definitely just you, because I'm not cutting out on my...
Yeah, I know it's just me. I'm just trying to figure out why it's being stupid.
No, you know. It's because it's the way it is, man.
Yeah, because it was working just fine till a minute ago. Oh, that's annoying.
Well,
I think it... Are you broadcasting to me the same way that you usually do?
yeah. Virtual camera.
That's weird because I used to be able to like mute your video, but mute like you. You know, if that makes sense.
Oh, well, no. Remember, I used to do it to where I shared my screen and had me separately. Yeah. But because it was so laggy, we switched it over.
Yeah, like, because I can't.
Gotta love live productions, y'all. You get to see all the behind the scenes chaoticness.
Like it's to the point where like it's hard to like keep up with what you're doing. I'm sorry, guys.
All of that Madhouse Classic. Next would be the thing you came to see and talk about. Be the clash at Bowman Gray. Uh-oh. Leaving and coming back, it looks like. Maybe.
Okay.
See if that's any better. The purse. We get to talk about money. Money. You good?
I think so.
Okay, just checking. It looked like you were saying something in the mic and I didn't hear you, so maybe it's just because you weren't facing the mic when you did it.
I don't know. It's being weird because like it's still doing that thing. hate this.
I can hear you just fine. So that's the important
Yeah,
part.
like that doesn't help me because like I can see your mouth moving and stuff, but like you'll be like, in today's episode, and then we're going back. Yeah, like that's what it's like. It's weird.
It's definitely you.
Yeah, I know it's definitely me. I tried to leave and go back, but it didn't do
I noticed.
anything to help.
So anyways, we get to talk about money. The purse for the clash at Bowman Gray Stadium was a whopping $3,002,500.
That's a lot of cheddar.
It's small compared to what most of the races are, though.
It's a lot compared to my bank account.
Could just take that last 3 digits, and it's a lot compared to my bank
You ain't
account.
lying.
All right, so Heat 1, your top 5 that advanced out of there would be none other than Mr. Chase Elliott, Mr. Bad Brad Keselowski, Noah Gragson, Kyle Busch, and Ross Chastain.
What the heck is going on now?
Somebody's having difficulties over there.
Yeah, it's popping me out. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to ruin the episode, but it's being absolutely trash. I have no idea what the heck's going on. So, we're talking about is this?
Heat 2 would be next up.
I got you. So the winner of Heat 2, the top 5 would be Chris Buescher, Chase Briscoe, Shane Van Gisbergen, Bubba Wallace, and Daniel Suarez.
And your Heat 3. I'm trying to mess with the notes while I'm going through. Your top 5 from Heat 3 that advanced to the show would be Mr. Denny Hamlin. First place there, Joey Logano, William Byron, Carson Hocevar, and Mr. Alex Bowman. It looks like he's trying to work on getting this audio stuff fixed again.
Like, so now my whole stream is like from where I'm watching you is just freezing, like really, really bad.
Let me do this. I will stop my camera and turn it back on and see if it'll help you out.
Well, what I was gonna say was I was going to completely like back out of Discord and then try
Is it
to
any
reset.
better now?
Possibly.
Possibly. I guess I'd only said a few words and didn't really help.
Yeah, like the audio is still cutting out really, really badly. I don't understand why it's doing that.
Yeah, my microphone's set to the right thing.
Huh.
This is something that you don't get to experience with other podcast peoples, as they pre-record and edit all the bad stuff out.
Yeah, it's awful.
We keep it in there for you. Get to experience the monotony with us.
I don't want chat.
Let me I'm gonna disconnect from Discord and come back into it real quick. Y'all gonna see duplicate for a little bit until he comes back. Where were we at?
If
I just talked about Heat 3.
this doesn't work, I might just have to do it off the iPad and go from there. It is definitely bad.
I don't see your webcam yet, though.
I know. I'm working on turning it on.
Slowpoke.
I don't know. It's kind of acting like it's my webcam's problem. It's like it was working just fine until I turned my webcam on.
Is it still being stupid right now?
Yeah, it's real jittery.
Not good.
I don't know. Let's go on. It's kind of working for now, so.
All right. Well, stage 4 is up next, sir.
Okay, stage 4. The winner
Or
is
not stage
Tyler.
4, heat 4.
I'm sorry.
You went
Heat
along right
4.
with it.
Hey. The winner was Tyler Reddick, and second was Christopher Bell. Ryan Priest followed in third. Fourth, Austin Cindric, and fifth, Todd Gilliland.
All right. So that gives you your first 20 drivers that locked into the main event there. We did have a handful of people that had to make some adjustments. That'd be Mr. Ryan Blaney, John Hunter Nemechek, Cole Custer, and AJ Allmendinger. All made adjustments for some reason or another. Forced them all the way to the rear for the last chance qualifier. And the two guys that prevailed in that craziness, because it was crazy. If you didn't watch it, definitely at least go check out the highlights. Kyle Larson eventually pulled it off with Mr. Josh Berry securing that second spot. Ryan Blaney only ran a few laps after he made those adjustments and just took the provisional to get in there.
Yeah, I think something was wrong with his car that entire time. I'm not 100% sure what it was, but I think there's something major wrong with his car.
Yeah. Then next up, we got the actual feature. We got that graphic that is up on the screen for you guys.
Yes, sir. So I'll take the first 5, and then I'll let Voodoo finish it off in the 10. So first off, we got Chase Elliott. He won the dang thing.
It
Ryan
was
Blaney,
171 laps, I think he led out of the 200.
He led the majority of it. Which I mean, Ryan Blaney coming all the way back from last place.
Yeah,
came in second. So obviously they got it figured out, and he started moving, boy. And of course the Cucumber Cowboy coming third. That's Denny Hamlin. Joey Lasagna coming fourth. Oh Bubbles came in fifth.
And coming in sixth was Mr. Ross Chastain. After that, be Mr. Austin Cindric. I don't know why somebody would pick somebody that finishes in the top 10 to make the playoffs. Tyler Reddick coming up in eighth. Shane Van Gisbergen securing his first unofficial top 10 of the season. Ninth, and then Mr. Chris Buescher coming up in the 10th place position.
Yes, sir.
After all that said and done, they did the tech at the track, and there were no issues.
Can I just take a second? And first off, I think whatever was wrong is fixed now. I don't know what the heck was going on about it, but everything's working fine now. No stuttering, no nothing. Knock on wood. But anyway, can I say that was one of the best clashes they've had in the last few years?
Dude, they need to keep it there, or
that's what I said.
Or hear me out.
Another track similar to.
Hear me out. Go back to Daytona. Do the full speed weeks. Give the All-Star race to Bowman Gray. And then give North Wilkesboro, one of the Phoenix dates, because Phoenix sucks, as a points-paying race.
That would be a great lineup. There's only one.
It's not my idea. I saw it on X, but you know.
Well, there's only one thing wrong with that whole lineup. Where's the Rock, baby?
Come on, still in Trucks and Xfinity.
Well, it needs to move to Cup because that is one of my favorite. Absolute.
Maybe that'll be the Clash location next year.
I don't know. I don't see it happening. I think I would like to see some like the old tracks get rebuilt, but I also don't see that happening because NASCAR's not going to funnel that much money into it.
I don't know. It seems like every couple of years they're trying to revitalize some historic piece of track somewhere. You had North Wilkesboro that got redone. Now you got Bowman Gray that had some upgrades done to it.
I want to say, if I remember right, Mike Joy was talking about that the safer barrier come off of Charlotte. I want to say that's where. like the old Charlotte or something like that.
Well, I know most of the barriers that they used at Bowman Gray came from the Coliseum.
Yeah. Well, I swore I heard him talk. That's what he said, something about like the safer barrier, like part of it come from. I thought it was Charlotte, but I could be wrong.
I'm not
I
sure. I
wish
didn't hear about
they
that
would,
part.
get the sponsorship back for Charlotte and just go back to Lowe's. Lowe's is a better raceway than Charlotte.
Whee! Figured I'd nonchalantly put that subscribe button up there.
Right.
All right.
But
So that's our post-race breakdown. We actually got to talk about a race this past weekend. Look at that.
and you know what's great? We also get to talk about one coming up, not next week, but the week after. So
Well, that's a little more special.
it's a little bit.
But now we get to talk about trackside trends.
Let's run it, boy.
Uh-oh.
The whole
It didn't like that transition.
Whoops.
Let me replay it for y'all because y'all didn't get to see it. Oh, nope, see it. It's just freezing. Okay. It's pretty much the same as the other one. I'll have to fix that. I probably need to get a better computer for all these graphics that we're starting to put up. My computer's probably not able to handle it anymore.
But we got some updates. Starting off with Las Vegas Motor Speedway. President Chris Powell will retire after the track's Spring Cup race weekend this year. Oh, I'm feeling a sneeze. Come on, that's like the worst. Anyway, Powell's been involved with the sport for decades at the track since the Speedway Motorsport was. Oh my gosh.
That took forever to come out. Bless you.
I know. It was right there. I'm sorry, guys. Since the Speedway was bought in '98.
He's been around for a little bit. Gonna see
Just a
what
little bit.
is gonna go forward after spring with Las Vegas. So we will see about that. Next up, old Max is coming to the table. All 40 drivers in the field will have in-car camera streams available on Max, and their video will be synced with the data and scanner audio. Pretty cool.
Max is one of the ones that I don't have. And I'm kind of worried that they're going to start pushing
I
races
have
on there.
it. Well, it's just in-car cameras. It's not actual race coverage, so.
Yeah, but like, who's to say next season they're not going to do that?
Come on, you think Fox is going to give up everything? Just because they're putting more effort into IndyCar doesn't mean anything.
Right? Anyway, Larry McReynolds has signed a multi-year extension with Fox Sports and is now in his 25th season. So who knows? NASCAR might not be going anywhere.
Exactly. Enough of that NASCAR news. Now we're going to the team changes. Don't really have anything for ARCA.
No.
Do have some stuff for the truck series. Starting off with Thor Sport. Rich Luscious, I don't know. One of those two is probably right. Is going to return to Ben Rhodes' team to serve as crew chief. John Hankish will be the crew chief for Matt Crafton, and Jared Prince will be paired with Jake Garcia. So those three crew chiefs getting announced for Thor Sport Racing, got their lineup all in place.
Yes, sir. Going on to Spire in the truck series. Michael McDowell will run the 07 at Daytona, and Justin Haley is set to run the 7 at Daytona. So, got some Cup drivers going to be running in Daytona with the trucks.
Yeah, those two superstar trucks.
Yes, sir.
Pretty cool. Rayume Brothers have announced that Atlanta and Las Vegas will have Mr. Keith McGee at the wheel. for at least those two events, maybe more. We shall see.
Possibly. Moving on to Xfinity, we got the RSS Racing putting Kyle Sigg to run full Xfinity Series schedule, and will also field a third-party entry, so not just Kyle Sigg.
Yeah, pretty cool. Wonder what races they gonna bring that third car to.
Don't know.
A little bit of JGR action down in Xfinity. First things first, we got a new sponsor for Mr. Chase Briscoe in that 19 at Charlotte Raceway. Lance Crackers gonna be the primary
Yes,
sponsor
sir.
for that car.
I will be right back. I'm sorry, guys.
All right. And then next up, Mr. Justin Bonsignore has announced more races. Was 5, now 9 in that 19 car. So it's gonna be Daytona, Homestead, both Bristols, Rock, Pocono, Iowa, Kansas, and last but not least, Phoenix. So pretty cool there. DGM Racing is going to have a new sponsor with, well, not a new sponsor, but Classic Collision is going to return to Ryan Ellis. That's 71 for at least 10 races for the upcoming season. Another return there would be Daytona, Coda, Homestead, Talladega, Atlanta, Sonoma, Portland, the Roval, Las Vegas in the fall, and Phoenix. A little bit of Cup and Xfinity announcements here. Celsius is going to sponsor both of the 16s. That's Mr. Christian Eckes at Xfinity and AJ Allmendinger Cup Series, and those are both going to be the Daytona race here in a couple weeks. So we're looking forward to that fun stuff there. Going ahead to the Cup Series. First things first. For RCR, Bank OZK. A lot of acronyms going on tonight. Is going to be the primary sponsor for Mr. Kyle Busch. Multiple races beginning at Homestead.
Sorry, guys.
Now that
My
he's
children
back.
go off to bed. So JGR has a national debt relief as a primary for Denny Hamlin in 4 races. That's the 500, Coda, Charlotte, and Dega. So some of the major ones.
So you remember this little bitty old team that's now owned by Jimmy Johnson called Legacy
Yes,
Motor
sir.
Club? Mr. John Hunter Nemechek is expanding his sponsorship from Pi Barker Fire and Safety. They're coming back, and they're going to be on 14 races, starting with Coda.
Yes, sir.
Well,
And that's not the only scheme news we got for Legacy either. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We were
I'm not
talking
gonna
about
take
this
it.
earlier.
Yeah, we were.
Where's this? Wait, no. We were talking about this on the pre-recorded episode that you guys don't get to watch yet. So, if you're an ostrich and haven't been on social media to see this on X or Instagram or any of those fun jazzes, Jimmy Johnson and Shaq had a little bit of going back and forth on each other, and decided to settle it with a 3-point shootout, which we know Shaq's so with that. Well, Jimmy Johnson lost. Barely, but he did.
Go figure that one.
So Shaq gets to design Jimmy Johnson's Daytona scheme. They're going to announce that on February 7th. Just saw it because that race suit that they got Shaq was humongous.
Oh yeah, I can't. Now they should do like a kart race or something with Shaq in it and see who wins that one.
I think it'd be hilarious to see him try and get in the car.
Yeah, I know.
He might get
That's
stuck.
more of what I want.
He might get stuck.
Oh yeah, have like bugs, race Volkswagen bugs or something small.
Yep.
Smart cars would be hilarious. But Moving on to 20. Sorry, I was envisioning Shaq trying to get into a smart card. Sorry, guys. Anyway, 23XI. Shady Rays has joined the team as the official sunglass provider, as well as an associate sponsor for select events for Bubba Wallace and Reddick. So they have not released that yet, but be on the lookout for it.
Yeah. So Wood Brothers Racing has a little bit of news. Where was PPG last season? Was it with Josh Berry? I don't remember.
I don't
Somebody
remember
ran
either,
a PPG paint scheme. Anywho, Brickyard 400 is going to have PPG paints as the primary sponsor for Josh Berry and that Wood Brothers Racing number 21.
Yes, sir. Okay. So now moving on to some meaty subjects. How many charter teams do we have? 36, right?
Yep, 36.
We have 36 charters. Did you know that Daytona will only run the max of 41 drivers? And that's if someone takes that clause.
Yeah.
How many entries do you think we have?
2 doggone many. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no. I wish they'd run 43. Uh-oh.
That's
Here,
me.
Okay. All right. So we'll
trying to
start
get
out
to
with the least favorite. In the 01 car, we got Corey LaJoy.
Trying to get this graphic up for y'all. Give me a second.
Yeah, you're good. That's kind of why I'm being slow about talking it. I figured you'd have a graphic.
I do have the graphic. I just don't know what happened to the button for it. So. There we go.
So we got 01 Corey LaJoy, Justin Allgaier in the 40. In the 44, we got JJ Yaley. And Martin Truex Jr. himself's coming back in the 56. Oh, sorry. And Fast Pasta, Mr. Anthony Alfredo in the 62.
Yep. Then the last other 4, because those 5 weren't enough. We got Chandler Smith in the 66, BJ McLeod in the 78, old Jimmy Johnson himself in the Shackmobile in the number 84, and Elio Castroneves in the 91. That's 9 drivers going for potentially 4 spots, maybe 5 if Elio doesn't race himself in.
Or if, because we did say that like Johnson and Allgaier were both eligible.
It was Johnson and Truex, but they would have had to apply for it previously, and they did not.
Oh, did they not? Are we sure of that, or is that just...
I have not seen any reports of them requesting it prior to the 90-day window.
So obviously they're pretty competent. Now
they could both not be in the race.
If Johnson doesn't make it, I'm gonna be a little upset. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm wearing his Carvana shirt right now. But
in all honesty, out of these groups, the 4 I would like to see in would be Justin Allgaier, Martin Truex Jr., Jimmy Johnson, and BJ McLeod. He usually runs pretty good at super speedways. And then, of course, because those 4 race themselves in, Mr. Elio Castroneves will be in, and we'll have 41 cars.
Like I said, I wish they just bump it to 43 and run old school. But obviously they're not going to do that for whatever reason.
Yeah, but if they did that, then only 2 of these guys would go home.
True. Or they should just, drop the entire charter system and not worry about it.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Got to race yourself in every week.
I mean, it would also kind of be like a slap in the face to 23XI. They just won their litigations to be a charter team. Be like, oh, just kidding. We're going to not do charters.
Charters are gone. You're welcome.
Thank your local Denny Hamlin. Just saying.
Mm-mm-mm.
Out of those four, I know you took the thing down, but or out of all those, the four that I would choose, of course, would be Jimmy. I'd like to see Allgaier in and Truex, but I'm gonna contradict you a little bit, and I would like to see Anthony Alfredo. I don't know why his name. I was sitting there staring at his name.
You were
couldn't get it
probably
out.
trying to go with Fast Pasta instead. Couldn't think of it.
So you guys,
You're welcome for the yawns, everybody.
Oh my lord. But anyway, yeah, those were the four with Elio Castroneves racing or getting the clause in. But like we said, not this next weekend, but the weekend after, we do get to talk about a race. So if you want to flop on over to Race Day Horizon, if the cutout
I
will let
know
us.
it's not this upcoming weekend, but we're going to talk about Speed Weeks anyway. And apparently the transition's not going to work again. Well, that sucks. Got to go back to static stuff. Apparently the videos don't want to cooperate. Yeah, I didn't yawn first that time. It's all on you.
No, well, I'll tell you exactly what happened. I have the podcast going on the side just so I can make sure everything's going right, and it just got to that point again. So technically, you did yawn first again. So
No, doesn't count.
okay. So yeah, as Voodoo was saying, we the race isn't until 2 weeks from now, but Daytona 500 is so awesome. We get to talk about it 2 weeks. If I can English so good.
You probably can't.
No on me. But let's talk about some speed weeks, homie. Oh, starting Wednesday, February 12th on FS1, which it looks like all these are going to be on FS1. 10 a.m. is Cup practice. 8 p.m. is Cup Oh my lord. Cup pole qualifying.
I don't know why it's got the
At
ARCA
8
race
p.m.
name there.
Yes, sir.
Get that off there. There we go. Good thing we can edit these things on the fly, unlike my static stuff.
All right.
Jumping to Thursday. Yeah, see, it's got the this thing's a gotta figure that out. Yeah, and I don't know what's going on. Anyways, don't pay attention to the icons or the race names or none of that stuff. Just pay attention to that right column over there. Starting at 4:05 p.m. on Thursday, you got ARCA practice. Followed up an hour later at 5:05 p.m. You got truck practice on FS1. And then you got 6 p.m. You got NASCAR race day to prepare us for the duels at Daytona at 7 and shortly afterwards at 8:45 for those two. To set the order of starting positions for the race. And then we usually don't talk about shows, but so damn close, Atlanta 24 be on at 10 p.m. that night on FS1. That's about that super close finish at Atlanta, obviously.
I have been trying to set that up to record, and it refuses to search for that. Like I don't get it. YouTube TV's just being stupid, I guess.
Yeah, well, I did get YouTube TV back before Flash, so.
Hey, there you go.
Moving forward to on Valentine's Day.
Yes, sir. Sorry. So, February 14th, Valentine's Day, when you are truly in love with
NASCAR.
You've got the ARCA qualifying at 1:30 p.m., the truck qualifying at 3 p.m., Xfinity practice on the CW at 4:35. Both of those first ones were on FS1, as you can see on the graphic. And then we got the Cup practice on FS1 at 5:35. 7:30 p.m. the truck race, the Fresh from Florida 250. That is 100 laps, will be on FS1. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I will have the stage links up here for next week when we talk about it. I don't have them up there for this week. That's my bad.
Oh well. I mean, it's just getting ready for it. We still have a whole week.
Yep.
Kind of a sneak peek of what's going to happen.
Apparently, I got to fix some graphics anyway. So, moving forward to Saturday, the day after, you get to make your spousal units happy. Starting at 10 a.m., you got your Xfinity qualifying on the CW. Then at noon, you got your ARCA race, the Ride the Dente 200. That'll be on Fox. It's a Chili sponsorship if you didn't get that one. 3:05 p.m. you got your Cup practice. This will be on FS2, not FS1. It's FS2, so pay attention to that there. And then to finish off that night at 5 p.m., you got your United Rentals 300 Xfinity race on the CW. It's 120 laps, baby.
Yes, sure. And then on, if it'll work, let's see.
Sunday.
Hang on, baby Jesus, this is gonna get bumpy.
Oh man, it's definitely NASCAR season now because we're kicking it off with the Daytona 500. The Great American Race starts at 2:30 p.m. and will probably last until 10 because it's the 500. And where you get an absolute 7.5 hours of beautiful race cars turning left real fast. It has been way too long.
Oh, man.
I love the 500. Also, on a side note, usually Voodoo and I do a watch party for the 500, so jump into the Discord and enjoy the race with us. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what's going on, all your commentary. It'd be awesome to see you guys in there.
Indeed. That's all we really got to cover other than our Slick Scheme Spotlight.
Well, for the last time in a hot minute, do you have any topics that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I didn't really think of any of these beforehand.
We kind of flew through this episode, not gonna lie.
Which is
Despite
crazy considering we had some technical issues at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah. By the
I guess
time we
could
get
talk
done
about,
with
we could kind of give them a little sneak of what's going to be on our Patreon.
well, before we get to that one, the video that we recorded prior to going live tonight, that will be going live Wednesday morning. Is that what we
Yep.
finally decided on? I know you're probably missing it because we do it a little bit earlier last season, but our way too early playoff predictions will be coming Wednesday morning. That'll be for everybody to see. But we got something super special on Wednesday that we're going to record and probably immediately publish for our Patreon followers.
Sure.
We got a Patreon now.
We do.
And guess what? It's super, super expensive.
This is free. But we do plan on having some exclusive content that later on will be. It'll be a little bit not too expensive. I don't want to charge $50 to watch our content.
Nah,
But
probably just be
like
a few
$1 or
bucks.
$2. Yeah. This is just us getting our Patreon started, and the only reason we decided to do a Patreon is we like doing giveaways and going to races, and that gets expensive for everything. Yeah. So I mean, I can fully
I had
promise
to
you
buy
that
a whole new
whatever-
vehicle after we went to Nashville.
That's very fair. But I mean, once a year, I definitely think it's cool that hopefully we get to meet up at least once a year and do a live podcast together, make some videos, make you guys laugh, just mess around, whether that be at a race or us doing something stupid like kart racing or something like that.
So the video, yawning again. The video that we're putting up on Patreon. You're welcome.
Oh Lord, you gotta stop that.
Video that we're putting up on Patreon may or may not. I'm not confirming nor denying the how should I put this? Collab with another NASCAR themed podcast group.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna name them. Not gonna
Not
say.
yet. You gotta go watch them. You gotta go watch it on our Patreon, and then eventually it'll be posted. Eventually, maybe.
Yeah, we're not sure how long we're gonna keep it on Patreon before we move it over. He's over there trying to get in focus after he leaned away to yawn.
I know my camera's not one.
But with that being said, bet you this thing's not gonna work right when I do it. Gonna try it
While you're
anyway.
doing that, I'm trying to focus my camera.
Well, you're not gonna be able to see it because it's gonna.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured. All right, we're gonna go back to the static stuff. Apparently, it doesn't want to work. That's fine.
Well,
I tried to get fancy for y'all and it didn't work out. So it is what it is.
see, that's why you need to go hit us up on Patreon so we can get better equipment to help you guys.
Yeah.
Just make it look nice. Who knows? Eventually, we might make it where we look like we're in the same room.
Maybe.
One day. Anyway, we're moving on to our S cubed since our stinger didn't really work. And if you guys are new to the show, S cubed is where we talk about during the season. One of us will pick a historical scheme, and the other one will pick a scheme from this last race. Well, this being a special clash, we decided to both pick from the clash, and during the offseason, we both pick historicals. Now, a couple weeks ago, we hit our 100 and 101st scheme, so this should make this, 103, 4, 5, 6, 106 schemes that we've hit?
I think so.
So, but before we move on to the schemes that we have chosen, this segment is brought to you by Happy Hour Racing. It's a store where you can get all your NASCAR and F1 needs. I personally use them more than I probably should. But
I think that's with anything NASCAR.
right. Anyway, they're awesome. Go check them out. They have a lot of merch and stuff. It comes really quickly. I got mine within the week that I ordered it. And it's like when I first went and was like kind of browsing, I thought like, oh, it's just gonna be like used or something like that because the prices are pretty decent. But no, it was still tagged, had everything like wrapped in plastic. I mean, it was officially licensed by NASCAR, which is very cool. But you should go check them out. And when you do check them out and buy something, use code RHPD. It costs nothing more to you, but it does support the podcast. So if you guys would do that, it would mean a whole lot. Who knows? We might eventually get new computers and are able to run a lot more. So
Run better graphics for you guys. Gotta go back to my PowerPoint images. Hey, you live and you learn, right?
right.
So with that being said, we get to go to our first scheme, which will be mine first this week because you went first last week. So
That's right.
bam. I'm going with Mr. Chris Buescher.
I almost picked this scheme. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, you can't have it. Now this is the best image I could find of it. They didn't really have that many pictures of them, surprisingly. This is from I want to say I stole this from J-Ski website. Both of our images.
I was going to say that's where I get most of mine when I send them to you. Not gonna lie.
I do get a lot of my information from him. He does a lot of good work. But obviously, Mr. Chris Buescher, the first time we get to see the Kroger sponsorship on an RFK mobile. And I think they did a really good job. Better than what they were doing on the 47. Sure.
You know who I think would be really jealous?
Yeah. The Ricky spin out.
Yes, sir.
Mister, I'm gonna wreck Burt Myers.
No, that was at least he wasn't Ty Gibbs and like get spun out by the local dirt track guy and then take it out on some dude that was just there.
And just use him as a ramp.
Yep.
A little air. But I do like the way that they got this. I'm hoping this is kind of like a basis for what we see for the rest of the Kroger schemes as they
I
come
would
out.
definitely be happy. No doubt about it. I like the scheme.
And
The back of it, like I liked the back of the scheme the best, honestly. The sides are cool and everything, but the back of it was the coolest to me. It was like the green and had like the red border around it. It's pretty cool.
yeah. But anyways, he did get himself into the main event. Started all the way up in second place because he won his heat. Managed to stay in the top 10 of the 23 cars. So kept himself in the top 10. That's my Chris Buescher scheme.
I'm gonna say this now. He's got a teammate that will like really kind of help him. That's a little bit more aggressive than the owner. Because I'm like in my brain, you know, the owner's not just thinking about the team. He's also thinking about the damage to the cars and all that. Which
I don't know if Frank Kozlowski's really worried about that stuff.
I'm just saying. I think it all plays a part in it.
Very well could. Very well could.
At bare minimum, all I'm gonna say is at least he has a more aggressive teammate because Priest is a lot more aggressive than Keselowski. Keselowski's kind of been over that hill and already dealt with it.
Yeah.
That's just what I was gonna say. But it is a great scheme. I almost chose it. Instead, because I am a child and like bright colors, I chose SVG. My rookie this year started in the main feature at 10th and finished 9th. So also finishing in the top 10.
One over your driver.
But hey. One reason, I will say the main reason I chose this scheme is because, one, the yellow 88 stood out great on that blue. And two, I liked the Red Bull mask that they give it, this car.
I think he's going to have that Red Bull mask on all of his cars, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so as well. I'm really looking forward to the actual Red Bull car. But, just saying. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. That and, like, I definitely like the Trackhouse logo on the A post.
Yeah.
Looks nice.
I'm looking forward to seeing how many teams use that A post space now that they can use it.
I've noticed Trackhouse is like one of the pioneers when it comes to like wraps and stuff.
They were like one of the pioneers with the video board on pit stop too.
Yep. I've just noticed that they like to push the boundaries quite a bit more, and NASCAR's like, it looks good, that'd be all right.
Like, oh, you're giving us more space? All right, let's sell it.
Yep, pretty much. Who are we selling it to? Well, right now we're just gonna sell it to us.
Yep. I did find that kind of interesting that Ross Chastain and Shane Van Gisbergen just running Trackhouse schemes. I don't know if that's because they couldn't find funding or because they just wanted to do some fun stuff.
I think it's more like the fun stuff because you're telling me that Busch Light wouldn't sponsor the Clash when it's called the Busch Light Clash. Well, no, it wasn't this time.
No, it was the Cookout Clash this time.
That's right. That's right. But still, you get what I'm saying. They funded the Clash forever. Well, for 3 years.
Feels like forever for somebody. Especially a 3-year-old.
That's fair. It feels like forever when it's a really bad place for a race.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. It's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Here you are.
I would much rather prefer the Clash stay at Bowman Gray than go back.
Yeah.
Because it was a whole different feel to this. This actually felt like racing instead of, we're going to take cars around a couple times. And
a lot of attitudes flying too.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Speaking of,
Bro,
did you see the picture of Burt Myers waiting at Ricky Stenhouse's Ricky Stenhouse's hauler?
no.
That's pretty funny.
That's great. Oh man, I just can I be honest? This clash made me think of like old school racing, like early 2000s, late 90s. You know, that's just the attitudes that I got from it. Like the drivers actually got to play their characters, if that makes sense.
I wonder how much of this attitude throwing back and forth is going to carry over to the season, though.
I hope so. I'm getting tired of these boring seasons. Just because, you know, NASCAR's gonna fine me $25,000. You got paid $800,000 last 3 races.
Yeah.
I mean, you get what I'm saying. It's just stuff like that. Like I get they don't want to lose points and the teams are kind of trying to be careful, but at the same time, like I want to see someone swing at somebody. Like that's NASCAR. That's as deep as the roots as Bowman Gray is. I mean.
Yeah.
And whoever tells me it's not, it's a liar because you took a bunch of World War II vets that have like experienced death and are complete adrenaline junkies, threw them in cars and told them to race each other. They're gonna fight at the end of it, I promise.
See some hockey brawls going on in NASCAR.
The first fully televised race had a dude getting beat with a helmet. Let's be honest.
True. That was just a couple weeks ago, wasn't it?
Just a couple weeks ago. Back in 79.
Back in Nam.
Yeah.
And all of us are all young whippersnappers.
Hey, all I'm saying is I like old school racing a lot better than I like this new, like, here's your bubble wrap and safety scissors there, Timmy. Go have fun. Like, I get you don't want people to die. That's fine. But let them fight it out afterwards. Like, give them a little slap on the wrist. Like, oh, I'm going to, fine you $10,000. Oh, okay, I made that today. So, you know what I mean? That's the part that I'm like, I think it's hilarious when you go back and watch the Stenhouse fight where he's like, Dad, get my dad.
Yeah.
I love that.
Why are you starting crap that you can't handle yourself?
Right. They should have more of that.
Well, it looks like Burt Myers was trying something. Guess
I
Ricky
hope
never
so.
showed up. I don't know if it was just to
I think
capitalize on the situation or not, but
I think so. Because, and I honestly don't think Burt Myers or Tim's, what's his name? Smithery? Is that his name? Smithery?
Brown.
Was it?
Tim Brown.
My God, where did I get that name from?
You're thinking of Garrett Smithley in the 66.
I got okay. I don't think either one of them would have made it in anyway.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe. Nah, probably not.
I honestly think if what's his name didn't wreck, I think NASCAR should have went ahead and put him in though.
I don't know why I'm yawning so much.
I don't know. You're causing me to yawn, and I don't like it. Ugh. Anyway, is it your turn to sign us out?
We're getting restless and tired of waiting for the Daytona 500 to start.
That's right.
My story, and I'm sticking
Ready
to
to see
it.
the duels.
I can close this out, yeah.
You go for it.
Yeah, so we're crossing the finish line of another Raise Hail, Praise Dale episode. Until next time, may your tracks be clear and your victories many. Good night, race fans.